Hey buds, today we smoke two strains that get sticky quickly.
We cover news stories from all the channels, including sports, entertainment, religion, and cooking.
And a conversation with a longtime follower of the podcast who's now starting his own, DJ Tygrr.
All of this and more today on the Good Buds podcast.
Let's get higher than we did last week.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
Welcome to the Good Buds podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis.
I'm Shank.
And this is episode 34, airing April 26th, 2021 on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Thank you for joining us.
Before we start, I'd like to thank Lumenspot and My High Shop for sponsoring this episode and all our other ones. Check out their links down below in the description, and we will talk more about them later. So, Curtis, how you doing today, brother?
I am doing pretty damn well.
Nice.
I had a fantastic 420. Obviously,
yeah?
we're recording this a little bit afterwards, and it was pretty good. Got baked as shit. Met some cool people at Inline Vape, and we had our fun little live stream. And
Hey, the entire Chamber of Commerce of your town, eh?
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. That's funny.
But Shank, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, bro. I've had an awesome day. I'm still baked from 420. It was an awesome time. We had that great live stream. Had a lot of fun playing some games. We're looking forward to the next live stream. That's going to go better than that one. We won't have any technical difficulties next time. But
we'll talk more about that as well.
We'll talk more about that as well later on. But my day has been fantastic, man. I got some wicked strains for today. I'm really excited about this one. The White Lightning just seems like it's gonna be lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? Pun totally intended. Anyway, I would like to, before we start, remind everybody that's listening at home to check out our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter, because we have an awesome bunch of behind the scenes content as well as photos of the weekly strains that we smoke. So if you want to check that out, jump on there, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Also check out our Discord where we have some regular conversations and we check in daily. So we would love to have you buds pop in there. Fire us off some memes, fire us off your favorite strains, whatever you want to do.
We want to hear from you. We want to hear back from you. We want to know what it is that you are thinking, because we barely know what we're thinking half the time.
Talk to me, baby.
Exactly. And if you agree with that, or just like what we're doing and want to support the show, you can check out our Patreon page and donate there. We have several tiers that you can choose from, including behind-the-scenes content exclusive for Patreon, and the ability to listen in on the show live. Again, links are down in the description below. If you join us there, you can join our other awesome patrons, such as Isaac. He's pretty lonely, so it'd be pretty cool if, anybody else wanted to hop on there. You can start off at $1, man.
Yeah,
we got you.
Big true. Like, all kinds of tiers, and they've all got awesome content. He's totally right. But Curtis, what do you say we get on to the reviews, brother?
I think that sounds excellent.
Awesome.
Good Buds Review, Good Bud.
So Curtis, what are you burning today?
Well, Shank, today I am smoking on some Glueberry. Interesting name, and quick little side note before I get into the review. When I was originally given this strain, I was told blueberry glue, which kind of the same thing, but not at all.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, seems reasonable.
So when I was looking up the strain for, this podcast, I was looking up blueberry glue. Could not find it anywhere. I'm like, what the hell? So then I go back, keep going back, and then I find out that it's actually called Glueberry. Start looking up Glueberry, and sure as shit, guess what? It's everywhere. So this is Glueberry.
Glueberry.
Glueberry is a hybrid strain. The genetics lean more towards an indica, but I will explain it a little bit. It is originally grown by Dutch Passion, and it has won multiple awards in the Netherlands. Very fantastic strain there. The strain that I'm smoking today is a phenotype grown by Dubers Metro. As always, shout out. Exactly. It is a triple threat combination of blueberry, Gorilla Glue, and OG Kush. All combined into one to make this extremely fantastic nug that I got here. It is medium-sized, very dense, and well-trimmed. They are tightly packed nugs, very tightly packed together, with an immediately noticeable coating of crystal. Covers inside and out, completely dusted. You can't even pick up this nug without particles and flakes falling off like a fucking mushroom spore.
Like
It's
sprinkles
interesting.
falling on all over your table.
It like cinnamon toast crunch falling all over your lap while you're trying to eat it on your way to work in the morning
Nugs,
because you're running
nugs
5
with
minutes late.
dandruff.
Exactly. Um, Now because of this completely immense covering of crystals, it the buds have this light green color to them. All in all, very nice light green color with these slightly darker bits that are peeking out. I kind of like a forest green, but still lighter than that, just like your basic green, I would say. It has a tiny amount of orange hair that kind of stick out and just give nice little accent color to the nug, but the main thing here is the crystal.
Nice.
Now, in terms of scent, oh, whew, that is extremely fruity in terms of scent.
Extremely
Like,
fruity.
extremely, like 90s Starburst commercial, extreme fruity.
Oh shit.
It
Like
has a
Capri
very,
Sun?
yes, it has an
Oh shit.
extremely citrus front to it and a sweet berry scent kind of towards like the middle of it. And the end of the scent is interesting because it smells like sour diesel. Now, I do not mean the weed. I mean it more smells like gasoline vapors mixed with malic acid. Like,
So like actually like sour candy style diesel.
like just like sour candy and Sour Patch Kids just writhing around in ethanol.
Like sour Skittles that have been soaked in like gas.
Exactly. All in all, potent as fuck.
Yeah, that
Fucking
sounds
nuts.
magnificent, man.
And fantastic strain. I can't wait to see. Hopefully the flavor stacks up.
Yeah.
But we gotta know, Shank, what is it that you were smoking on that you already kind of gave away?
Well, yeah, no, this week I am burning White Lightning. It is going to be magnificent. Honestly, I know I gave it away a little early with this, but I mean, frankly, like I said, it is like lightning in a bottle. Now, the thing about it, it's a hybrid indica, which normally you buds know that I'm more of a sativa guy, but this does, like I'll get to that in a second, but it's a hybrid indica that it's got these really small, like like little rabbit pellets that we've talked about before on the show. Like it's little
Right.
small nugs, but they're very white and frosty looking. They have barely any noticeable red hair. What's the word I'm looking for here? They're like lacking.
Bald.
Yeah, they're bald. They're bald nugs. These nugs are bald. But that's not, I'm not knocking them for it at all because they look like they've been dusted with confectioner sugar. They have so much crystal on the outside, which is really nice. But when you hit them with like direct light, like when you're taking a picture of them or something like that and hitting them with flash, you can see a really nice bright, very light green, like almost like an emerald or like a lime or jade, like or lime green. That's like kind of like more of a like light color, that you can see through the frost on the outside, and it's really, really, really nice snug.
I know
Um,
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
Basically, same
yeah,
thing over here.
exactly. It's beautiful to look at. I really enjoy it. And now the smell of this weed, it hits hard. It's beautiful. I love it. Here, one second. Oh yeah. Okay, I love that. I love that. Whew, that almost went right to the back of my nose. So it's got a very sweet citrus smell, but it's not like a sharp citrus. It's rounded. It's like a really rounded and earthy quality. It almost makes me think about like walking through a lemon orchard or something. Like just want to kind of like walking around through a lemon orchard, like stealing lemons.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, no. But aside from that, like it has a slight hint of herb and like pepper, like an actual like pepper grind, peppercorn pepper. Um, through like that peeks through. It's not strong. It's not strong enough that I'd be like, oh, this smells like pepper, But like it smells slightly enough that I'd be like, hey, I can get a hint of it in there. And the weirdest thing about it is it has this like kind of strange quality. It's like it's almost like those artificial scents that companies come up with, like they mix a bunch of
Right.
chemicals together to make a
Yeah.
smell. It's almost like how they've got that artificial smell. It's like an artificial smell, but at the same time, an extremely natural smell.
So a smell that's supposed to smell natural, but it's definitely artificial.
Something like that, or vice versa, but you can't tell.
Hmm. Well done.
Yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's
wait,
weird.
so wait, it has a sweet citrus, it has a slight earthy quality, it has herb, pepper, and a artificial scent to it.
Yeah.
So it's basically anything at Applebee's.
You're not wrong. Shots fired, Applebee's. Shots fired. But yeah, no, honestly, like the smell
Come
is
at me or
yeah,
sponsor me. What you gonna
yeah,
do?
one or the other, bitches, one or the other. But honestly, like this strain, it smells fantastic. It looks really fantastic. Aside from the small size of the nugs, you know me, I'm a big nug man. I know it's not, necessarily the size of the nug that counts, but it's you
Ladies.
know, but at the same time, I am a big nug kind of guy, and these little ones are nice. They bust up looking good, so I'm excited to try them out, and I'm looking forward to it. But before we
Sure.
do or
Uh,
anything, oh,
Before
go ahead.
anything else, who grew these?
Oh yeah, no, this is really cool because BC Seed Company originally bred this strain by mixing together White Widow, which is a classic,
Of course.
and Northern Lights number 5, which is also another fucking stone cold classic. So that's two strain, but this one was specifically phenotype. This phenotype's grown by Highland Cannabis Co.
So
Um,
originally by BC Seed
yeah,
Company, this
BC Seed
phenotype.
Company. Yeah, and this phenotype was grown by Highland Cannabis Company. And Highland is an awesome brand name.
I think so too. There can only be one.
I know,
There can
right?
only
Yeah,
be nugs
yeah. That or it's like a theme park, which I would love going to.
or creating if it doesn't already exist.
Yeah, hashtag trademarked. We're taking it. You're not allowed to steal our idea. If you do, you have to give us money. But anyway,
If anything, we're at least making it in Minecraft, so
I
fuck
know,
off.
right? Yeah, so fuck off. Exactly. But before we try these, like I was gonna say, if you're watching on YouTube, you could already see us when we're talking about these nugs. The pictures are floating behind us, and like there's all kinds of wicked graphics that Curtis is throwing up here.
What more
But
could you ask for? It's already there for you.
I know, right? It's already there for you. It's amazing. But if you're all like, hey, I'm just gonna listen to it right now. When I get home, I might check out some stuff while I'm on the internet. And you go to Instagram, check out Good Buds Podcast on Instagram, where we will post pictures of all these nugs. So if you want to see them, you can be like, I wonder what it actually looks like. You can click there. We'll share all those pictures. We also have cool behind the scenes stuff and everything else. It's really amazing. If you click follow, you will get updates every time we post something random and amazing for you guys to look at.
We'd love for you to check it out. We got all the fancy nug shots there. We also got some extra content if you want to check that out. I
Mm-hmm.
have my own my own Instagram at GoodBudsCurtis, where I take some massive bong tokes and show you guys some behind the scenes while I'm editing the YouTube portion.
It's true. Like he takes some of the biggest bong hoots I've ever seen in my life. And also, if you check out at Good Buds Shank, you can see me do some weird like artsy videos where I sit there with my mask on, smoking weed and staring at the camera with elevator music playing. And I also post pictures of wicked joints that I smoke and all the different strains that I like to kind of smoke in between the podcast episodes because I don't smoke just one strain a week, weed a week, right, buds?
Of course.
So like you can check that out. Give us a follow. Make sure you know when you're on there that you give us that follow because we would really appreciate it. Every single bud that we have that's listening right now that already follows us, we appreciate that greatly and cannot thank you enough. So
Exactly. And speaking of
I
having some great buds, I got some that I accidentally ground up and threw inside of my bong shank.
oh
I
I
got a
have
pack
some
right here.
I have some that I very purposely ground up and threw into my bong. It was very naughty and needed to be punished.
That's hot. And speaking of hot, so is our lighters in just a second. But beforehand, hopefully all of you buds have your bongs packed, your bowls packed, your joints rolled, your blunts rolled, your vapes rigged up, your dabs ready, and hopefully your edibles are already baked so they don't have to be baked any further. But let us
Yeah.
get baked further because that's what we do here. Let us blaze it. Tok tok skabok, boys.
Spoke, spoke. Oh, oh man. My goodness. So Curtis, how
So sooty.
brother, how's that? Ooh, my. So Curtis, brother, how's that tasting for you? Said it
Uh,
exactly 14 minutes and 20 seconds into the interview or the podcast.
hey, so I'm slightly disappointed,
Oh,
but I'm not mad.
okay.
Let me explain.
That's even worse though, from a
What I
parent's perspective.
oh always
I'd rather my
absolutely.
mom be like, "I fucking rage," than being like, "I'm disappointed slightly." And
Broken, but slightly disappointed
Yeah.
because with three fantastic parent strains, Blueberry, Gorilla Glue, and OG Kush,
Yeah, they're all
speaking of
killer
parents,
strains.
I was expecting a huge push of flavor, a huge push of this. Honestly, it's not a
it real
huge
good?
amount of flavor.
Oh.
I get a slight amount of fruity, I get a slight bit of the citrus and the sweet,
Mhm.
and that kind of mellowly goes down the throat. But all in all, it's not that strong. It comes through a little dry, like a dry sweetness, kind of like a Riesling or a wine or something like that for any of
Hmm.
our aficionados in there. But yeah, like I said, it really doesn't have that strong of a flavor. At the same time, that's good because if you are, someone who doesn't smoke that much or is smoking just for medical purposes, this is probably a really great strain for you because you'd be able to handle it extremely easily.
Yeah,
Uh,
sounds like it.
I mean, as a seasoned stoner, I prefer, the huge terpene flavors and the push when I get that bong hit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, for somebody who doesn't smoke often, you might really enjoy this strain, and it's supposed to be potent, and I will get to more on that later. But Shank, how is
No.
your strain for you?
Honestly, it's fantastic, dude. I get a very strong lemony sweet flavor. That's got a heady, strong smoke. That's like it's strong on the outbound, like strong when you're breathing it out, but on the inhale, it's super easy. Goes down smooth, comes up rough. But
Hmm.
there's peppery notes in it as well, that are like really accented and heightened by this like smoky flavor. And I mean, obviously you're smoking it, so it's gonna taste smoky. But like, I mean, like more like a wood smoke, like a hickory, or
Like a
like a
hickory or a cherry
yeah,
wood or
yeah, like
something?
yeah, like some kind of like a wood smoke, like an actual wood smoke, flavor, which is very nice and hiding very faintly underneath the background. Like once I've gotten the scent and the flavor and everything out of my mouth, for a moment. There's a bit of a diesel hint, so I get a bit of a like diesely kind of aftertaste. You know what I mean? It sits around in my tongue for a while. Overall, it tastes fucking fantastic, man. It's like potent. You know, it's as potent as it's not quite like yours. It doesn't hit me with that, like big, that disappointing feeling. I definitely feel very appointed
Right.
by it, but it was great flavor, man. So they sound great, but obviously before we burn more, which am very excited to do, we should check what it says online. What do you say, Curtis?
I agree to that. We got to figure out what other people say, and these are the opinions of other stoners online, and we are stoners online giving our opinions to the online.
Opinions.
Absolutely. Wait, did you say Funyuns?
No,
Oh, okay.
munchies are kicking
So
in already.
a little bit. So, which is interesting because, like I was saying earlier, this is a hybrid strain and the genetics lean slightly more towards indica. However, the reported effects are that it's a focused, uplifting, talkative, and relaxing high. So, a couple more
sounds
sativa,
sounds like a
uh,
sativa.
exactly, but it's apparently good for depression, good for fatigue, which is something I don't see too often,
That's rare.
and it's been recommended specifically as a medical or for medical patients with PTSD and chronic pain. So supposedly really good for both of those.
Nice.
There's no documented side effects reported, but from the little bit that I have smoked, there is a slight bit of dry mouth and a slight bit of munchies that come with it. But as always, we are prepared. I got bevs, I got snacks.
Big
We are
time.
ready.
Always.
But what
Always.
are they saying about that white lightning shake?
Well, with White Lightning, it's really great. They're saying that this is sounding like a very relaxed, euphoric, happy, uplifted, and creative strain, which is always great. I love those strains that make you feel that little pop of creativity. I mean, I'm sure it's not the strain that does it. It just kind of, it's just the feeling,
Influences.
the vibe you get from it. Now, the strain is a very strong strain, apparently, from what I've read online. Very, very strong strain. And it's used to treat multiple sclerosis, insomnia, anorexia, Parkinson's disease, and the side effects of chemotherapy.
Hmm.
So it's made for some high grade medical kind of
Oh yeah. So it's
situations.
So it's pretty much good for pain if you want to get knocked the fuck out or if you really need to eat something.
Yeah, pretty much, 100%. That's
Nice.
pretty much what it's for. And again, there aren't that many. I've seen a few dead cases of people saying dry eyes, dry mouth, dry teeth, that kind of thing. But I've my personal note from the small amount that I've tried as well is that I get a little bit of dry mouth, and a little bit of the munchies, which is absolutely fine because I have munchies right here and beverage right here. I always have it nearby, because we are
Oh yeah,
prepared always.
absolutely. And included in that being prepared, we also got some pre-rolled joints
It's true.
ready
My
for
joint's
us
right here.
right here. I got
Yeah,
mine right here.
yeah, it's
And
amazing. There's
Exactly. And for our new tradition, we are going to be doing a quick little dry hit to give you guys a nice little flavor profile.
Good Buds ASMR moment.
Ooh,
That was awkward and fun.
always.
Yeah, so no, that's interesting. Curtis, what are you getting out of yours, man? That was different.
So even though out of the bong I wasn't really tasting much, I'm definitely getting a lot more of the fruitiness, a little bit more of that sweet berry and the citrus. Um, a little bit more of the herbal flavor as well. It's I don't or an herbal flavor that I hadn't tasted before, I should say. It's very interesting. I'm definitely getting a lot more through the joint, and hopefully it's a little bit more well, I guess harsh in my opinion, but
Yeah, no, I know what you
a
mean though.
little
You
more
get a bit
flavorful and
more of
all
that
paired.
smoky, that throat feel.
Right.
Yeah.
But Shank, how about you?
I'm getting that really strong lemon coming up the front, like the lemony and a bit of a diesel tone to it, but it's got a floral. The floral comes out like a very like not the herbs in the scent kind of turns into a floral taste, so it's almost like it's hard to say,
Yeah,
but like a buttercup or something. The way that they smell, it's got that flavor of that smell, which is interesting.
very
And I
nice.
really enjoy it, man. And like, frankly, I am getting a good amount of flavor through it. And I'm looking forward to what it's going to taste like after I catch it on fire.
I agree to that, and we need to first catch it on fire. In order to do that, I hope everybody at home, every bud at home, gets their joints ready, their blunts ready, their bongs, their bowls, everything. Get your proper medicinal receptacle properly filled, and let us blaze it.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Now that artificial taste comes out a lot more in the joint.
Good or bad?
Not bad. Not bad at all. It's actually really intriguing to me. It's obviously I'm smoking out of OCBs, my lovely
Of
OCB
course.
Supremes.
And as always, I'm smoking out of a zigzag orange pack, one and a
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah, so like I mean, so so it isn't a paper influence or anything like that. But the flavor it's giving me a really interesting dynamic. The I don't actually feel the smoke in my mouth, but I feel it in my throat. You know what I mean?
I'm getting the exact opposite. I'm feeling it in my mouth, but I'm not feeling it in the throat. I'm getting a lot more flavor and a little bit more of the fruit and some more of that surprise herbal that I was tasting in the dry hit, but it is sweet overall, like a kind of like a lemongrass, I would say,
Nice.
in terms of herbs. But
We got like
it's
Bizarro World versions of each other's weed.
I think are we smoking the same strain that are actually completely not? Because like I said, trio
Yeah,
of mine is blueberry, gorilla glue, and OG Kush, and then
and
yours
mine
is
is Northern Lights #5 and fucking White Widow,
exactly.
which are
So
like two true OGs. Like Northern Lights, everybody, it's a meme weed at this point. I mean,
I mean,
like
same with OG Kush. Blueberry
OG
is a
Kush,
little
yeah,
more
blueberry,
is a common one, and
yeah.
Gorilla Glue is definitely one of the newer
Gorilla Glue.
strains
Oh my,
that's
but
fucking taken off.
yeah, it's Gorilla Glue is like hot on the market, man. Everybody knows Gorilla Glue, right? So
Gorilla Glue and gelato,
yeah, I know,
basically,
right? Good gelato,
and
especially, man.
runts
I
and
heard
runts.
Chemdog's really popular over in the UK though, where it's illegal right now. Chemdog, like in Scotland, especially, Chemdog is like a big one over there, which
I
is
can see that
interesting.
being the case.
If
Um,
we have any Scottish buds listening to the show right now, let us know what you're smoking. But I mean, on the down low, obviously, because it's not legal there yet. But everything we do on the show is completely
Scottish,
legal, and
UK,
we do it
anybody
whether
from
it's
the
legal at
Europe,
the time or not.
exactly. Scottish, European Union, fucking UK, it doesn't matter. Just let us know. Where are you from,
Yeah,
buds? We want
yeah.
to
Where are
know.
you from, buds? Where are
Um,
you? Yeah, let us know.
and speaking of worldwide and stuff like that, so we had our 420 stream obviously on 420.
We did. It didn't quite go the way we planned it to go.
Exactly. So funny fucking story from the Stoner Brains of the Good Buds podcast.
Very funny story.
So before the stream, obviously we did a little bit of branding. You might have seen something if you're following us on Facebook or any of our social
Mm,
media. We've mentioned it a little bit,
literally everywhere.
but we had prepared pretty much everything, the assets, what we were going to play, what we were smoking. We had
Hmm.
got the OBS setup. We had
Oh, it was beautiful.
we initially had
Banners. I
plans.
made banners. I made fucking posters. I made fucking like all like I made a
Exactly.
fucking awesome fucking like Dragon Ball Z style poster of me and Curtis doing the fucking merging dance. It was so,
Pretty
like the
fucking
fucking oh
cool.
my god, it was so cool.
Mm.
But it said
But with all
YouTube
that,
live stream.
hold up. Before that, we had one issue beforehand, which we definitely need to mention and bring up.
It's true.
Which our, if you haven't catched the stream, we had our buddy Russell Stevenson who joined us on the last podcast.
Stevenson AV. He's the owner and operator of Stevenson AV. Check out the website. We'll have a link down below for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was supposed to help us out with the live stream or he said he was going to help us out with the live stream, which
It's true.
good on
Yeah.
him. Fucking,
No,
we
he's a great
appreciate
dude.
that.
He volunteered. He volunteered, and he was so excited, man. He was like on
Right.
board, so excited.
And we were excited to be working with him as well.
100%.
Unfortunately, it was the day previous or 2 days previous.
One or the other. For clarity, I could check Facebook, but we'll just say it was either 1 or 2 days before the live stream. I believe 2 days before the
Yeah.
live stream. Yeah.
So 2 days before the live stream, we unfortunately got word that while he, um, or in layman's medical terms, he got knocked the fuck out by a doorway.
Yeah, he ended up having a concussion, unfortunately, when he was playing around in his house with his kid, as his parents do. Unfortunately, a door frame snuck up on him from behind and fucking clocked him. Like it
Just
was like
the whapped him.
just full on, like pulled out a baseball bat and almost kneeganed him, but I think his kid roundhouse kicked the door frame away and they escaped. It was a long story, but he had a concussion from it, and
So-
we just kind of decided like he said that he would be capable of helping and everything else if we needed him and that kind of thing, and we told him we absolutely love and appreciate that entirely. But we wanted him to be able to rest, and obviously he needed the rest because when you get a concussion, you do. And so we told him we're going to work with him in the future. We're going to have some awesome live streams.
Well, you're not. In all fairness, you're not supposed to rest, but after you get diagnosed and you figure that
relax.
out,
I mean,
relax.
You know what I mean? Relax. I mean more like relaxation. Rest as in
do not
don't
sleep
do
on a
anything,
concussion.
Yeah. No, rest as in don't do anything too strenuous. Like just chill. You know, chill the fuck
Exactly.
out.
So-
like play some video games or something. Right, just something that focuses you and requires.
So
you.
we
Yeah.
went on ahead with
But
the
not-
live stream without Russell, which we
Yes.
hopefully will work with him in the future and
Absolutely.
have some way better content from what
It's
happened.
gonna be so good.
Now, what we had planned after that was just like, okay, since we're not going to be working with Russell and streaming it to his service and then double streaming it from wherever, I picked up Streamlabs OBS Prime, paid some
Mhm.
money for that, so that way we could get some good streaming for 2 possible outlooks.
Donate to the show to help offset the costs. Thank you. Love you guys.
It would be appreciated. But we finally get everything down, and this was the day before we had worked out pretty much everything except for
Everything.
one goddamn
we
oversight.
went over damn near everything. Now I want to stress this too because Curtis said it, but I want to stress it. We went over every detail that we didn't need to go over. We were even like, hey, here are certain things we could like do throughout the evening specifically, like moments that we
Yep.
could plan out, and we were like from here to here to here. And we were like on it.
We had like 20 extra things that we could have done. We
it
had
was-
like
we were on top of like we thought everything. Curtis had his OBS set up perfectly. He went through all the
everything was
settings,
good.
did a test recording. Recording is the important word. Did a
Yes.
test recording, and it worked great. Looked awesome. It was amazing.
I had streamed before to Twitch with no issue. Me
Yep,
and
no
Shank
issue.
had both streamed before to YouTube on our
Yep.
private gaming channel, or not private, but our own
On
personal,
our personal
gaming channel.
gaming channels. Check out my Bad Names Games, by the way. I might as well plug it. I got a fucking place here to Bad Names Games. Go to YouTube.
Gaming with butts,
Gaming with Butts. So
but with
good.
a Z as well.
Yeah, and he has and like his videos are substantial. There aren't as many as mine, but his are way better edited, and mine are just like spam. It's like mine's like the shotgun
He's
trash
got
fire,
enough.
and
He's
his
got the
is, like,
stuff that you can throw on before you go to bed and
That's
just
true,
give him
yeah.
a bunch of extra views while you sleep.
Honestly,
anyway.
it's true, yeah. Yeah, but I digress. We've both streamed on YouTube, is what Curtis is getting at, like before in the past, through our own
Exactly.
personal accounts.
But essentially, the one oversight that we had that we unfortunately forgot about was to check YouTube in and of itself to see if we actually were able to live stream. And apparently, since YouTube had changed the rules, and we were unfortunately not able to live stream directly to YouTube because we had to enable YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and that took 24 hours. We figured this out 5 minutes before the podcast or
Yes,
before the live stream started.
because we were going to start at 7 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. Curtis's time, and at 5:50 something, 5:50 in minutes. We were like, okay, like let's go onto YouTube, let make sure everything's set up there,
Get the thing
like get the thing started, and like start filling in the information for when it showed, like, what it would say for people who tuned in, like blah blah
And
420 live stream.
as soon as we had to connect it from OBS to YouTube,
Yeah.
oh, you need to enable it.
Yeah,
Okay, quickly enable.
I
This
just
will take
heard,
24 hours.
I just heard Curtis go, and I was like, what's wrong? He's like, we have a problem. So we thought on our toes, though. We did. We got right up on our toes.
Exactly. We were
And,
still able to get it
yeah.
out to Facebook. We were still able to live stream on there, and you can still go to Facebook to check out the full live stream.
You can.
Up there, edited, posted, ready.
It's true.
It's
already
and exactly, we made it work. We still got our stuff through. We still got what we wanted to do accomplished. Wish we had a couple more guests and a couple more viewers, but hey, we
Yeah,
thought on our
well,
toes. We kind of threw everyone one way and
It's
went
true.
a
We
different
told
way.
everybody
So
to go to our YouTube, and for any buds that may have gone to our YouTube channel and, like, wanting to watch the live stream and missed it, and anything like that, and didn't get the memo to go over to the Facebook page, I thoroughly apologize for that.
we deeply
I
apologize.
I tried my best to post on, like, as many places as I could that we had to go over to Facebook live, but I'm guaranteed there's some people I missed. And if I missed one of you people, I thoroughly apologize for that.
Exactly.
And, next stream that we have, we will be on YouTube. We will also be on Facebook, hopefully. And we may even be on Twitch if we figure out a way to get around their banning thing for cannabis and stuff like that. So, like,
We can work around that, then we'll be good.
If we can work around that whole thing, then we'll figure it out. But for now, like, we can't apologize for anybody who may have missed the live broadcast that wanted to tune in, and we hope that you had an awesome 420 anyway.
Exactly.
That's all I can say.
And another fun part of that day from 420, before we did the full live stream, me and Shank both individually went live on our Instagrams. Shank had a fun little live stream where he was on at 420 his time, smoked some weed with him. Pretty cool. But at 420 my time, I was at Inline Vape. I've mentioned them before. Pretty cool guys over there.
Yeah,
For their official, it was for their official ribbon cutting ceremony. And I'm like, okay, sweet. We're going to be, at a smoke shop. There's going to be a whole bunch of stoners there on 420. Ribbon cuttings at 420, obviously. So I go there, and a little bit different crowd than I was expecting. So the entire Chamber of Commerce for the township that smoke shop was in was there for the ribbon cutting. They were all wearing, like, fancy clothing and stuff like that, and I'm like,
the fucking Chamber of Commerce was all just chilling out.
I'm
Well,
like,
it's a business,
oh.
right? I mean, it's a new.
I mean,
big
it's a business,
It's a
obviously,
fairly good-sized
so-
business too. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
like,
So it makes sense that they would be there for the ribbon cutting and stuff. But it was interesting because I'm like, okay, I'm expecting a lot more, stoners and people who are aficionados like myself to be in. All the people like me came in, bought something, took a hold of the sales, and then got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, chilling in there, live streaming, showing off the glass and everything. And I'm like, all right, I don't really know what to do exactly. I go outside, I hit my pen a couple times. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Go back in with a new sense of confidence. I ended up giving out our business card to all the members of the Chamber of Commerce while I was there. I guarantee maybe only 2 of them smoked ever in their life.
Well, if they decide to smoke, or they don't, if they wanted to listen to the Good Buds podcast, we are thoroughly of the opinion that, you don't need to
And
smoke
if
Good
anybody
Buds, so.
from the Chamber of Commerce started listening to the podcast because I gave you my business card, thank you very much. We appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, welcome. It's very nice to have you here. And if you wanted to sponsor Curtis as a small business in your area...
Another thing.
I don't think they do that.
While
do
I
they
was,
do that? I don't think...
Doesn't matter. So anyway, while I was there, it was also interesting because they were... obviously, they weren't as familiar with the new fangled smoking devices and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's...
So the owner of the smoke shop, fucking really cool guy, he's introducing me to all the members, and he's like, yeah, this guy does a cannabis review podcast and stuff. So they start asking me all these questions, and I'm like, well, this does this, and this does that, and I became like a small thing of that.
Oh yeah, man, that's crazy, dude. Like the fact that they like like when they don't know much about glass and you kind of have to explain it.
They were
Like I've been,
appreciating the, they were appreciating the artistic value of
yeah.
it at least,
Well,
because I
yeah,
mean,
the beautiful
they got
pieces.
beautiful pieces. And speaking of beautiful pieces, how about we run into a quick little ad?
Do you like fashionable and unique clothing? Do you like things that shine super bright when exposed to light? Do you like discounts? Do you like advertisements that ask, do you like, over and over, knowing there is no direct way for you to answer back? If you answered yes to all of these questions, or even just the first three, check out lumenspot.com for some lit clothing and accessories, and use the code GoodBudsPodcast at the checkout for 50% off and free shipping. Thank you, Lumenspot, for sponsoring us, and thank all of you for listening. Check it out today with the link below in the description.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Always
Lumenspot.
loving Lumen Spot.
So cool.
And there's a bunch of cool stuff happening, Shank.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. You're not
Everywhere,
wrong.
always, somewhere in the world, because we know it is time for We News Worldwide.
And for our first story today, we're going to be talking about something near and dear to the podcast: concussions. So
Happened to one of us, and
it
now we gotta
happened.
bring
Yeah,
it
it
up.
happened to a very close bud of ours, and it's unfortunate. But concussions can lead to good things, which
And they
is
know.
yeah. There's an NFL player named Jordan Reed who's retiring from the NFL, and he plans to explore a new career in the field of cannabis.
Ooh,
Totally different field than the football field, right?
I would say
So
completely different turf, but I'm pissed.
yeah, but so he was playing for the 49ers. And basically he got a lot of concussions, like a lot. And when he got concussions and injuries and everything else, basically a quote from him said, "I used it when I had injuries, surgeries, concussions, and he always chose cannabis over opioids
Of course.
because
I mean, smart choice. You can make that
if you can,
choice.
obviously. I mean, opioids have their place, but cannabis has every place. So essentially, he thought that he would, feel good, keep playing, and everything like that, and keep playing the game that he enjoys. But concussion after concussion, didn't let that happen.
It wasn't looking good for him.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good for him. So he basically he's making the choice. He's saying he's doing it for his family, doing it for his kids, that he wants to be safe and just be there for them. And it's time for him to step down and go into a different field. So he said that he's going to start anew. He's gonna use his experience with using cannabis to help ease injury symptoms that helped make his like that. Basically, using his cannabis himself, it made the direction clear he wanted to go into the cannabis field,
Right.
which is fantastic. It's always good when people with money who are cannabis users themselves and enthusiasts.
He wanted to go right down that center line, right for a touchdown. I'm sorry.
Sports ball. But it's safe to say this is one NFL story that doesn't involve taking a knee, that and it's not like, I mean, nobody should find this controversial. This is amazing. The dude's like fucking like, yeah, I got banged in the head too many times. And
I mean, that's the only issue with it, that the NFL won't do anything about that. But
it's true.
I mean,
big issue.
oh,
Dude, yeah, no, dude got too many bangs on the head, and that is that is a little
does
controversial.
it say what his cannabis company's name is yet, or
Allow me to look into this.
if you want to look into it for yourself, links are down in the description as well.
Yeah, it's true. There'll be links down to. This is from the Growth Op down in the description. You can check that out. And he does not have a name for the venture yet, but when he said he will be releasing information in the near future in regards to the company and everything else.
We will keep you buds updated as
Probably
well as we are.
The 49ers or something like that, maybe. I don't know.
The 420ers. Is what I'll name
420ers.
it.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd
be
be
fantastic.
interesting.
But yeah,
Now-
no, it's interesting. It's celebrities, celebrities love getting, like, footballers and shit. They fucking love that shit.
Shank, you know for a fact celebrities love getting into cannabis
Well,
ventures. Which,
Snoop, like Seth Rogen, like Willie, yeah.
what if wait, did I do that? It looks like
Oh.
Jaleel White is joining the roster of celebrities who are enjoying themselves some cannabis
Yes,
with his own
son.
brand. Jaleel White, actor who played Steve Urkel, obviously, from
Hell
Family
yeah.
Matters in the 1990s
And
sitcom,
Stefan.
and Stefan. He's launching his own brand named It's Purple, which will be available, or which is started becoming available in California on 420.
Nice.
Available now. Obviously, he had his debut. If you follow any sort of Instagram, he showed up with Snoop in his
Yeah,
very,
I saw
very,
that bitchin' ass outfit, man. It's good to
oh yeah,
see him back. He pulled it
classic.
off right away too. And the one thing I loved
Oh yeah,
about that show, I just gotta say real quick as a quick interjection. Anybody who like has seen Jaleel White, like when you see like the Stefan character, right? When he's all like suave and he's all like, "Hey, I'm Stefan," and he's
yeah.
like fucking, and he's all like, like people are like, "Damn, that's what Jaleel White normally like." That's that dude normal. That's just him chilling out on a like being him. Like it's
Right.
crazy because then you see Urkel and it's such a great character, man. That was like the most wholesome shit.
As
That
that
show was fucking
everyone
ballin'.
everyone loves Family Matters. It's all about Family Matters. So,
True.
but regardless, it was he's created It's Purple as his line, which has different uh brandings of Purple Urkel is the thing, but he
So great.
obviously couldn't name his company Purple Urkel, which
Mm.
unfortunate that they nobody would give him that name, but hey, it's a
Yeah,
street
they
name
own
given by
this.
stoners. Somebody already owns it.
Someone else owns the character, right? So that's the problem is they wouldn't want the intellectual property to be
Exactly.
associated with it. Well, I
But
mean, Family
regardless,
Matters associated with cannabis company, that would be bitchin',
you just
in
need
my opinion.
Urkel's face on it,
Oh,
and that's exactly what you're
The
getting.
Winstone.
That'd be pretty interesting, actually. But regardless, he has partnered with California-based company 710 Labs to produce his line, which again, its products based around the cannabis cultivar Purple Urkel. It includes flower, live resin, vapes, and pre-rolls. It's just going to be a
Yeah.
fantastic product line. If you're in the California area, check them out. Hopefully, we can
Oh,
get a hold of some here where we're from.
frankly,
And if
yeah. If that's as soon as actually, I remember I saw
yep,
one of the pictures on Twitter. I tweeted at them and said, "Hey, can if that comes, is
send
that
that into
available in
Canada,
Canada?" Yeah, I'm like, "Is
make
that in
it.
Canada yet? If not, come on."
So, if you want to check some more into that, the story that I'm reading from is also from the Growth Op. Links down in the description, or you can
Run
just
by
search
this week.
Dalil White, Steve Urkel, or It's Purple. I guarantee something will show up for you.
100%. It's everywhere. Go on like Instagram and
But it's
scroll for half a second.
but it's still interesting because you got that face of just that awkward teenager, just
Yeah.
fucking,
Did I do
you
that?
know,
And he still he looks the part, man. He looks like an older Steve Urkel. Like honestly, if they
exactly.
brought that show back,
But
it would be reasonable for him to play the same character now with a he's like looks the
nah,
same,
they would
but
probably get some other weird
what I think
teenager
is
to make
they'd have
thing
him come in and then they'd have like his kid. But
possible.
they may have, like I mean like
It all depends on the Family Matters.
yeah, it's true, but like it's like the wholesomeness of the show is what really
Exactly.
sold that, right? And another thing that's very wholesome, most people think, is a church, right? Like you
Right.
think it's. I mean, I've never had great experiences, but I mean that's just
Anyway,
the internet's not a big fan, okay? But anyway, but in the UK especially, people like the church is big, man. Like they're like it's obviously very like big over there, and that's cool. Power to you. But there is an issue with the 19-year-old dude in the UK because police got a call from somebody who wasn't one of the parishioners, it wasn't one of the people who was going to church there, but it
just
was
some random
someone,
person.
just some random rando, and they said that they saw what appeared to be selling weed edibles or selling cannabis or selling something out of his vehicle and antisocial behavior, which I did not know that antisocial behavior was something that needs to be reported to police.
Or could be, visibly. No, I mean,
Or yeah, I mean
hey,
I'm
look, that person's
antisocial.
sitting under a tree alone over there.
Hey,
Police,
that guy really looks like he doesn't want to talk to any of these people around him right now.
hello,
Cops.
911.
Yeah, 911. I've been assaulted by this antisocial behavior. But anyway, I don't know what they mean by antisocial behavior. But regardless, the police came and they were like, "All right, bruh, what are you doing here, hanging out behind a church? Like, what are you doing?" So they checked his truck because he was being sketchy,
Of course.
and it's that antisocial behavior I tells you. And so they found what they describe as a large quantity of cannabis edibles. And the picture here on the article, which once again is on the Growth Hop because they were on fire this week with finding some really great stuff from around the internet. So and we were lazy, so I mean, fucking 420 was last week. We're still stoned, like,
Always are.
yeah, but so essentially they found a shit ton. There's a picture here that he had like some Jolly Rancher gummies and like a bunch of cookies and what looks like a banana bread or some kind of fruitcake. I don't even fucking know. It looks
But
fruitcake.
banana bread, dude?
Dude,
Hell
He
yeah!
put weed in his banana bread? Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Yeah, skunks? Nah, hell no. Banana bread? Hell yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, like, yeah, the dude had like a bunch of edibles. So, unfortunately, possession of cannabis in the UK can result in a sentence as long as 5 years in prison, and check this out, an unlimited fine. So they can just basically be like, we're finding you $85 trillion, and you'd be like, the fuck? And they'd be like, too bad, pay it, bitch.
I'm charging you $3. Oh, okay. Or sorry, I'm charging you £3. Oh, that's fine. An hour.
An hour.
What?
What? Yeah, no, exactly right. So it's
You
not.
wanna sully our air with cannabis smoke? You get to pay for your breath now.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Queen's breath.
So yeah, it can be an unlimited fine or both of those things. So jail of up to 14 years or an unlimited fine. The information doesn't specify if an additional punishment or penalties are possible if dealing in areas close to where children may congregate, because there essentially is a school located on the same street within a short distance of the church. Now, it says it does say here in Ontario, a legal cannabis retail store cannot be located within 150 meters of a school or private school. In Colorado,
I don't think.
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't
go ahead.
think. In all fairness, this was a guy selling edibles out of his van. I highly think you can consider it illegal.
Not a recreational, yeah. Not a
cannabis
recreational
venture.
Yeah, so basically, exactly right. So that's the thing is, I think it's one of those things where there are regulations in place in a lot of places where you cannot have even a legal store within those regions. So an illegal store would probably be even more so frowned upon. So yeah,
Not
but
that
this
good.
this dude was chilling out, doing more than one illegal thing at a time. He was selling them edibles, and he was being antisocial, which is apparently illegal.
Do not be antisocial in United Kingdom.
And I
apparently.
guess maybe he was loitering, because if he's parked behind a church or whatever, I mean, he could be loitering. I don't know.
He could have been
though.
praying. They don't know.
Yeah,
Or there could have been a girl praying, at least,
That's true. You never know.
over in his
Oh
lap.
god.
But
God.
anyway,
But-
speaking of edibles and
Yeah.
cannabis, edible
Yeah.
cannabis, that leads us into our final news story for the day. This one comes to us from celebstoner.com, and again, links are down below.
Down.
Finally, we got one deviation, but
It's true.
apparently the Food Network is allowing for some legal activity. Chopped is releasing the Chopped 420 Cannabis Cooking Show special
Oh yeah.
for 420.
Yeah.
This is essentially similar to shows like Bong Appetit, Cooked with Cannabis, or Cooking on High. Obviously, a lot of famous weed cooking shows. The Food Network is finally getting in on it with its own show, Chopped. The show will be hosted
I love
by.
Chopped.
Oh yeah, I love Chopped. For anybody who doesn't know or doesn't watch Food Network shows while you're stoned, you're an idiot. It's fucking amazing.
It's so cool.
It's
Especially
so
if
good.
you have like a bag of chips, because you're like sitting here watching these people make like foie gras with like a fucking like super awesome.
If
like,
you get
like
really
everything.
if you get really into it, whatever you're eating tastes like whatever they're making.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You just sit and chill.
But we digress. So essentially, Chopped is a show where the host will give you a basket. The basket will contain so many ingredients, and within those ingredients, you have to make a dish within a certain time limit. I
Could
think
be
it's like
anything, like a
an hour
dessert,
to
a main
30 minutes.
course, or whatever.
Yeah, they do a entree, main course, and a dessert usually.
Yeah.
So this with the 420 show for Chopped, apparently they're going to be including can of butter and cannabis infused edibles as well as tinctures, oils, stuff like that
Magnificent.
to, you know, add to the show.
I love everything about that. I love
The show will
everything
be,
about that.
I'm sorry if I've been butcher these names, but the host will be comedian Ron Funches, and the judges will include chefs Esther Choi, Luke Reyes, and Sam Talbot, and drag drag performer and cannabis activist Laganja Estranja.
I wish my
And
name was Laganja Estranja. I'm so upset that someone else got that before me.
I I always say my fucking my drag name would be Valoran Iraq. But we digress. So
Oh god, it's amazing.
So they will be utilizing cannabis to enhance their dishes. Food Network for the first time in Chopped history, first time on Food Network, I believe.
It's gonna be
The winner
awesome.
will win a $10,000 grand prize. It's based in Portland, Oregon, obviously where cannabis will be legal, and that's
Yep.
where it will be shot in.
Yep.
You guys need to
Wait,
check it out. If you want to
man,
check out more on the link, it's down below, as
if
we said.
someone makes a flambe on that show, it's gonna be lit.
Where's the crickets? Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm kidding. It was funny. But
Yeah.
with all that, that brings us to the end of our news segment here.
I feel it's true. Awesome. So, Bug, I think now would be a magnificent time for us to zip on over to another ad spot.
Hey buds, you really want to show off your love of marijuana or just really shine at your next smoke session? You really want to go to myhighshop.com for some of the coolest cannabis clothing and accessories. They have shirts, sweats, jewelry, grinders, and even pipes made out of amethyst crystals. You can check them out using the link below and let them know I sent you by using code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. You can save 35% off your entire order and free shipping. Again, that's code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. Thank you to myhighshop.com, and let's get back to the show.
Oh my god, my high shop is so cool. So
Love
many
them, love their
pipes.
shit.
Oh
Love their
No,
shirts.
oh my god.
Super comfy.
Oh, and that beadless hat. I think I could pull it off, dude. I think I could pull it off. I mean, it would be hard because it has no brim to grab it by, but I think I could pull it off if I grabbed it by the little bean on the top.
Yes, you could pull it off. God damn it. Shank, how are you feeling?
I'm on fire with puns tonight. I'm feeling good, man. This strain is definitely creative. You can tell by the jokes I've been fucking like nailing. But it's great, man. I'm feeling very uplifted, very happy, very relaxed, quite comfortable in my chair. I'm enjoying the hell out of the podcast recording tonight. It's been so fucking.
Oh, yeah.
This one's a fun one. It's been great. Frankly, I can't believe that all you buds have stuck with us for like we're like 34 episodes in. So definitely. Hey buds, the audio just cut out and we had a slight issue. It was a technical error where I had to re-record this entire situation. Here's where we left off. 34 episodes in. So here's where I'm picking up. Yeah, buds, it's crazy, man. Like it's just one of those situations where you just don't know how it is, right, Curtis?
Fuck you.
No, fuck it. I feel great on the strain. I'm leaving most of this in. I'm not fucking lying to you. I'm not. I'm not editing any. I'm editing bits of this out,
No,
but I'm leaving most of it in.
I'm
It's
okay
great.
with that.
How do you,
Hold on.
Curtis? How are you feeling, buddy? This
Fuck.
is great.
Fuck all and kumquats. How are you? God damn it. This is pretty
Hey,
good. I'm
This is a
relaxed.
great episode. Everybody who
focused.
listens to this one, if this is the first episode they listen to, they're gonna be like, man, they're really tame. But how are you feeling, man?
Nah, I'm feeling good. Like the strain said before, I'm feeling talkative. I am relaxed. I'm uplifted. I'm focused on what we're doing, but I'm really focused on trying to make you laugh also.
It's working, dude. It's working, man. It's
Exactly.
fucking. It's
I do not
working,
feel fatigued at all, and I do not remember my burnt toaster strudel this morning, so the PTSD is good.
I'm having a flashback, Curtis. I'm having a flash. Yeah.
Even though I'm high, seriously, no disrespect to anybody.
No, seriously, we're
no
just
disrespect
that's
to anyone with PTSD. But I'm feeling good.
we are comedy guys. We make jokes about shit. So like we're not we from previous episodes that we respect and appreciate
Everyone,
anybody who suffers or deals with PTSD or CPSD or anything like that. And I'm not diminishing your struggle in any way by making a joke about a toaster strudel and PTSD.
And if you haven't checked out any of our other episodes that explained it further, go ahead and check them out. We're on Good Buds Podcast.
Yeah, seriously, like it's check out the other episodes because we do talk about it. But anyway, yeah. So no, that's good, man. So you're feeling good. You don't remember, it's like
everything's feeling good, man. So
not remembering that burnt toaster strudel.
I think we need to keep those good times a-flowing just a little bit more as we get into the next segment.
That's right.
The
interview.
Whoa!
Hey, buds. We are now in the conversation portion of the podcast. I am joined today by a longtime follower of the podcast, a very good bud, and someone who, in the future, plans to start their own podcast. We will talk more about that in a little bit. We have DJ Tygrr here with us.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You guys may have noticed that there's a voice missing. Unfortunately, Shank was abducted by aliens, so he will not be here for this podcast, and hopefully he might join us later, but we will see. But with that, the show must go on. DJ Tygrr, or do you mind if I call you that, or is there any preference of name?
Oh man, yeah, DJ Tygrr, but my name is Chris. But it doesn't matter.
I'll call you Chris, but everyone, it's DJ Tygrr. You can also follow him on Instagram at DJ Tygrr. Links down below. But our first question that we always like to start the interview segment with is, are you a partaker of cannabis? Do you smoke? Do you dab? Do you blaze it?
Well, I got a question for you. Does a bear shit in the woods?
I don't know. I'm not around to hear it. I don't know the phrase. I'm kidding. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So we got a cannabis connoisseur with us. Fair to say?
Yes. Yes. You could say that. I take part in all sorts of the variations of marijuana, whether it be flower, edible, concentrate.
Hell yeah.
Whatever it is, as long as it has THC in it, it's probably going to be good for me.
I can agree to that, absolutely. And speaking of which, I have a bong here that is packed with a little bit more of that Glueberry from earlier. You got anything packed and ready?
Yeah, I just packed a bowl of some West Coast Kush.
West Coast Kush. Well, let us see how it tastes, how it flavors, and how it smokes. And hopefully the buds at home also have their bongs, their bowls, their joints, their blunts, their vapes, whatever it is ready. It is time to blaze it. Tok tok shkabok.
Let's go.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, taking a massive bonk toke there. That is what we like to see here.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Man, this
is fantastic. Now, so I guess best way to start this off is, you have been following podcasts honestly for quite a while again, and to be honest, you are also one of the first people who has ever reached out to us.
Yeah, man, it was actually oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's very interesting and very awesome that happened so early in our thing. So we're very appreciative of it. Obviously, we keep remembering, so figured we might as well bring you on.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of I guess random because I hadn't searched for you guys. Of course, I wouldn't know, but
right, it was so small at the time.
Yeah, and
it's still kind of our, but
I had started my Instagram page for my podcast, and when I started getting followers, and where the section pops up where they have people you may know or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Where just random people pop up that you might follow, and you pop your profile page was on there one day, and I seen this Good Buds podcast, and I was like, well, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Oh yeah.
So it was really, I guess you can call it fate, maybe.
I guess so.
If you want.
I call it that. Fuck it. But yeah, and you had messaged us saying that you would ask for a couple pointers on starting podcasts and stuff like that. Which
yeah. Because
we were also extremely new at the time. Remember, we were still recording on our PS4s back at the time.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
So yeah, we were starting really small. So I mean, there wasn't much info we could really give, in honesty, but it was still nice to talk to somebody.
Yeah. See, and at the time, whenever I initially did reach out, I didn't know like how long y'all had been. I didn't know that part yet. So as a person who knew nothing, about podcasting, like with just like how to set up where I need to set up and how to get it to all the other all the platforms and everything. It's like
Right.
I wanted to reach out to somebody who might know or could guide me to somebody who did know like how to do that.
Oh yeah.
And it's always good to meet new people.
Absolutely. And
networking is the future.
Networking is the only way the internet works now. That and advertising.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, check out our ads in the description. Links down below. But so yeah, I think we're now at the point where we could definitely share a little bit more information, help getting podcasts off the ground. Obviously, with 2020 and the beginning of 2021 being pretty hectic, pretty crazy, it's been a little bit of a delay.
And that's another thing that's been taking up my time.
Exactly. But what is the premise of your podcast? Because it is a really good idea and should definitely be talking about that.
Yeah. So basically, since I live in Oklahoma, and within the last couple of years, they have medically legalized marijuana, and I am a patient. I have my card, so I thought, since and we had so many pop up just so fast within the whole entire state, that I knew that if I went 40 miles in another direction, I would find totally different brands, totally different growers, totally different strains at different prices, good or better, or good or worse. My bad. I'm high.
Of course.
So yeah, and so sorry, but back. I don't know, I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Sorry, man. You were you could go 40 miles either direction, find different prices and different strains, different brands.
Yeah, so I figured, and I would, whenever I'd come back, I'd show my friends or show people I work with and be like, oh man, check this out, hey, look at this bud, look at it, check it out, I got this for this price, check this out. And they would always, I've had a couple of people actually go to and get something that I've brought back just because of what it was. So I thought, why not be able to tell more than just a couple people.
Right. If I'm recommending good strains and good dispensaries to my friends, might as well try to spread it a little bit more to the rest of Oklahoma, or maybe outside of Oklahoma.
Because I mean, I'm sure I couldn't. I was like, I can't be the only one to think or realize like maybe I want to know what's over here. Weed maps and stuff like that helps, but I noticed like a lot of people around here, like they don't really use it like that. Like there's still people asking about where this is or where that is.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, you can just look on Weed Maps and realize they have all their menu there, this and that. You can order off of it.
Exactly. But
So,
it's always nicer to get that, actual user feedback type of thing where, somebody can actually explain the intricacies of what exactly made it. You can look at a review site from Weed Maps or something and be like, okay, this place might be cool, but is it really that cool?
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, that'd be a nice niche to fill. I mean, obviously or not even niche, that's obviously something people would like to hear.
Yeah. And then, also not only tell about what places have, but like also do promotion for that place, like talk to some of the bud tenders or the, owners, or, and give a little information about their shop, give, what their daily deals are, what special stuff to like, what would make you want somebody to come to your place, like tell me what you want,
Right.
something like, just free promo,
Tell me what you want. I will do this.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
we're basically the same way here. Yeah. So, it's nice to be able to go out, obviously, see all these different dispensaries, talk to the people there, and try to get some feedback on it. Have you found any particular dispensary yet? Free promotion right here. That has been like super cool with you guys, or super cool with you.
Yeah, actually, there's one in my hometown, or where I live at now, Nature Meds in Ada, Oklahoma, on Main Street. If anybody's listening,
Check them out.
but they've really been like, there's always been a nice vibe when I go in from the very first time. I always felt comfortable, and they've always had a great selection of whatever I need, and it's it's never disappointed me. I've never had anything bad from them. Prices are always good. People are good in there, so that and it keeps me coming back. Like, I like places like that.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, and it's kind of been similar here in Michigan. Everyone knows I'm relatively around the Detroit area. So when it started becoming medically legal and stuff like that here, it was basically the same story where they were just popping up left, right, everywhere you look. There was literally just like green cross. It was like, oh,
yeah.
it's like a urgent care. Oh, okay. It smells like dank. Got it. You learn quickly. And then yeah, obviously as it's been recreational, 2000, I think around 2018 or 2018 or 2019, it became recreational, and since then, obviously, a couple of them have switched over to recreational. There's been a couple more that have popped up, and it's always interesting seeing the different variations as well. Like, I'm sure you've probably seen this as well. The difference of dispensaries where there's one where it's like they have 3 mason jars just in a single display case, and then you have the ones that are like the Las Vegas showroom style. Every single bud gets its own pedestal type of thing.
Yeah. I've noticed it definitely knows who puts money into their shop and who doesn't.
That's always nice to see. So switching subject a little bit here. Obviously you've probably been cannabis user for quite a long time now, I would assume. Don't need specific numbers, but
yeah, I would say at least upwards to like 12 years, 13 years.
oh, yes. So a very seasoned stoner. And
whenever I think about it, I'm just like, holy shit.
Same here, dude. Same here.
Either I've smoked a lot of pot, or I'm getting too old. I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe it's both.
Yes. The answer is yes. Now, we've pretty much noticed that everybody who we know young, old, how long they've smoked. Everybody has at least one stoner story. You got anything for us? Anything funny? Anything topical? Anything comical?
Uh,
And quick disclaimer: anything that it happened in the story was legal at the time it happened, whether or not it was or not, and we do not need to use any names or anything like that. You know, so whatever happened happened is the essential.
Man, let me see if I can just pick one.
I mean, if you got a couple, we got a couple.
Let's see. Put me on the spot. Kind of got me.
Well, I'll start. That might jog something. So me and my friends used to get really high, and then we found this one area of woods that was kind of like back beyond this field. There was a slight path to it, and then a little bit further was a subdivision. But in that little strip of woods, we managed to drag a couch back there, and then we would just sit back there and smoke a bunch of dope.
Smoke a bunch of dope.
That's what we called it back in the day. We can't say that anymore.
Can't say that.
Weed.
Yeah, we can't say that here. Definitely can't say that here.
Absolutely. And we
Maybe
called this place Alice.
All right. Okay. Well, I can tell you the story of when my very first time getting high.
All right.
I think it's a pretty funny story. So I'm roughly in high school. We'll put it that way. Roughly in high school, and my two best friends, you know, they had already been, you know, smoking and drinking and whatnot, you know, previously. Whenever I started hanging out with them, they asked if I did, and I was like, well, I don't know, I've never done it before. And they're like, all right, well, one night we'll go out to one of their house, and we'll get you stoned. And I was like, all right, cool, just let me know. So one night they called and they're like, hey, you ready? I was like,
your time has come.
Yes, I guess so. This is where I live. So they came and picked me up, and it was dark already, and we roll out to the country, and apparently, I find out that the house we were going to, his dad was a lawyer in the town we live in.
Right.
Lawyer and a judge in like the next county over or something like that. So
right.
he was pretty into the law scene, but we went to his house, and he has a pond way back in the woods. There's a trail that they knew. I didn't know there was a trail, but they knew where to go. And so I just followed them, and we go.
This is starting to sound more and more like a cult initiation, but I like it. Go on.
Well, okay. So there's a dock at the pond, and there's a bench, you know, and we all sit down. And what's funny is the first time I smoked weed. This was the first time I smoked. I still didn't know what weed looked like. I had never seen it, and it was dark, and I could barely see my hands in front of my face. So all I saw was, okay, we were using a water bottle pipe,
classic of stoner engineering.
Yeah, and so they told me, this is how you hit it, and I'm like, all right, cool, then let's go for it. And we just kept passing it around, laughing, whatever, doing whatever. And we smoked about 2 or 3 bowls, and they're like, man, are you high yet? I was like, I don't know. And so they were like, nope, he's not high yet. So we load up another bowl. Yeah. So we smoke another couple bowls, and they're like, are you high yet? And I was like, I think so. And they're like, we're good, because we fuck are. And
we're not wasting any more weed on you either.
so whenever they said that, you know, it was like the spontaneous, like we all busted out laughing, fucking giggling our asses off, sitting around a pond, and
Right. The reality of what's happening sinks in, and then you're like, oh God, this is
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
yeah. And then we're chilling for a little while, and then it becomes time to go back home. And the only way we could go back was go back through the woods. And I was like, oh shit. And so we all got up, and I don't know where this idea came from. I don't know if it was planned, or what, but somebody mentioned that the only way we're going to make it back is if we act like we're in Vietnam and we're going through the jungle.
And the first time you're high, that idea just gets in your head, and you're like,
well, it was like told to me, like, that's what we got to, like, that's how we're going to get back. Like, they were telling me this, and I was like, all right, let's go. I guess if that's the only way we're going to go. So we all had a pocket knife and stuff like that. So we was all had them drawn, and then had a flashlight. Like, we didn't have cell phones with the lights on them already.
Like SEAL Team 6 style, like, we're going in, boys.
Yeah. So we start creeping. I don't even know if we didn't even take a trail back this time. Like, we were just going for it, going back to the house. And
the way is north. Head that way.
And so I guess we finally made it out, and I went home, and I don't even know if I don't even think I gave myself the time to enjoy Munchies or not. But as soon as I got home, all I remember is going to bed and waking up the next morning and being like,
I mean, that's perfect.
Whoa.
You don't have to waste money on food.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, that first night after, when you wake up and it's like, so that's drugs, okay?
Well, what was crazy for me is it was like from the very first hit, I swear to God, from the very first hit, I knew something like changed, like, in my life. Like, it was like, oh, this is what you need.
I have been awoken.
Yes. And it has been, like, actually wonderful for me. Like, it's kept me from I used to be an alcoholic, drinking a lot, and since the past, like, 2 years, I haven't drank.
Good for you, man.
I haven't been drunk, I can tell you that. I've had a couple of drinks yeah
a sip here or there,
but yeah, that's been keeping me going pretty good. And as long as I got my weed, I'm all right.
I mean,
Same
here.
Like,
I mean, I was
like, and if you can, I feel like everybody should, like, live by that motto. Like, if I just got some weed, I'll be all right.
And that's why it needs to be legal basically everywhere, which is why I'm really excited for the legislation that's kind of going on right now for talks of legal decriminalization or rescheduling.
Yeah. I seen that on the news the other day, I think.
Exactly.
I know I saw it somewhere.
I mean, it's an ongoing thing, so obviously we'll have to see what happens, but we can always all we can do is hope for the best, and then hope the states want to follow suit. But at least that,
and if you stop trying, then it's never going to happen. You just got to keep trying.
Exactly. So
if you stop, it ain't going to be worth nothing.
Absolutely. I had a train of thought that was leading from somewhere. Train of thought has gone choo-choo, which blows smokestacks. I'm gonna blow some
See ya.
I'm gonna smoke a bong real quick. Care to join?
Yes, sir. Let me get loaded back up here. I think I'm gonna load up some of my Gorilla Glue this time real quick.
Gorilla Glue. As you guys know, I'm smoking Glueberry, which is that combination 3-way combo of Gorilla Glue, Glueberry, and OG Kush. Hopefully you are watching the end of or beginning of the episode. Otherwise, you just skipped to this point. But if you did, thank you. Thank you so much.
Just go back a little bit to get to the good part.
No, this is a good part.
All right.
Do you got yours all packed?
I'm working on it. My
Dig it. Oh, this will be a good. All good, all good. This is a good time to also let the buds know. You can like, comment, share, follow, all that stuff. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can be checking this out on YouTube. We have an awesome animation that's going on right now where you can see us. There is also, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. All the audio listeners can also be tuning in right now. Wherever you're at, wherever you're following, make sure you follow us. And also, while you're on Instagram, go ahead and check out DJ Tygrr at DJ Tygrr there. Well, our buddy Chris, but he's at DJ Tygrr on Instagram. Check him out there.
Tygrr.
Yes. TYG. Wait. Is it 2G's, 1R, or 1G, 2 R's?
1G, 2 R's.
1G, 2
like,
R's. Got it.
Like grr. Like if you were to say
Grr.
grr. Yeah, Tygrr.
Roll the R. Oh, yeah, man.
All right, I am ready to go.
And I hope the buds are also. We gave them long enough to prepare as well. Let us blaze it, buds.
Whoa, hey. Whoa. Hey, at least buy me a drink first. Whoa.
Oh,
we about those big bong tokes here.
Oh yes, and I can definitely taste the Gorilla Glue a lot better than the West Coast Kush.
You know what? Go ahead and give us an impromptu flavor profile. What are you tasting right now on that Gorilla Glue?
Well, it's definitely a gassy on the inhale, and it's a pretty smooth exhale with I don't know, kind of like earthy tones
Nice.
on the end.
That was solid impromptu. Solid. Way to go. Oh yeah. Still losing train of thought every which way because I keep constantly. I just smoked that thing. Dirt. Fuck. So how long have you been a person?
So like, how long have I been alive?
Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously though, so other than your first encounter with cannabis, have you had any other hilarious stoner stories ever since? Anything?
Well, I know there have been, but a lot of them involved weed and alcohol. So
it counts.
Well, a lot of them I don't remember. That's what I'm saying.
Had a couple of those nights too, but in all honesty, when I was younger, I kind of went through my party stage early, so that way I could, in my thought process, get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's basically what I did too. Like, whenever I started smoking, I actually started. The first thing I did with those same people was the Corseed and cough pills, medicine. Like, I don't know if you heard of them.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, like that was I did those before I did weed. Like that was the very first thing they got me to do. I was like, holy fuck. Like,
it was the gateway to the best thing ever.
yeah. And it was like I started with that, and then I tried alcohol and then weed. I wish it was the other way around, because I probably wouldn't even touch the other two if I would have started with weed.
Right. Yeah.
But I did that all in the same year.
Yeah, for me it was within a 2-year span. It was cigarettes first, and then weed.
Oh yeah,
or cigarettes, then alcohol, then weed. And same as you, if I had tried the first one or the third one first, I'd be a completely different and way better person for it. But in my
You gotta
opinion,
live. You gotta live your life.
exactly. You do what
That's what I did.
you do what you do.
Yeah.
So exactly. I was getting to this party stage where, to the point, when I was 19, I had to quit drinking because I was considering myself an alcoholic already at that point. And pretty much from then on, it's been change after change, and I'm to the point where I've quit cigarettes and changed to a vaping device. But for the most part, it's just smoking cannabis, smoking that sweet, sweet ganja,
Oh yeah.
and it's definitely helped that it got recreational here.
Yeah, that's one thing I still have not been able to experience yet. Is it's going somewhere where it's recreational.
I mean, not entirely different from any place where it's medical. It's just there's a lot more people who can be expressively open about it.
Yeah, like, and then, I didn't know if, like, what is how much of a quality difference there would be between medical and recreational. Like, what makes it medical and what makes it recreational. Like, what guidelines do they got to follow
Uh,
to
for here specifically, it's specific THC levels. I believe I don't know the exact law here, but I'm pretty sure it's anything over 20% would be considered medical, or over like 21% would be considered medical and would be given to medical patients only. Anything under that would be sold recreationally, and the recreational has a slightly higher markup with a tax on it as well. Where I believe
ah.
medical, I don't know if they waive the tax, but for medical, they have a significant discount.
Well, man, that I would like to go there and just be a medical patient. Like, screw the
Oh, yeah.
recreational. No.
And also, if you're a medical, you can start at 18. If you're recreational, you have to be 21, which not too big of a deal. And also, Detroit just passed some stuff where they plan on opening cannabis-friendly lounges where you can just go in, smoke, watch TV or whatever, basically like a hookah bar.
Yeah, yeah. In Oklahoma City, the capital here, they have a couple places like that I've seen, where it's like, what this one place I've actually been to before it got legalized here, and it was a hookah bar, and it was pretty cool, cool vibes and stuff. But now, since it has been legalized, it's still a hookah bar, but it's also like a stoner lounge. Like, you can
It's cannabis friendly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So but I have yet to be back there since then to try that out. But yeah, I'll do it one day.
Oh yeah, and I'm a little bit outside of the city of Detroit, so obviously, I don't have immediate access right there. And with Rona going on, definitely want to be safe and precautious. But yeah, once those open up and stuff like that, I definitely got to go down there and check those out. But I don't know. Detroit seems to be like this really big capital for where a majority of our cannabis business is going right now. Which it's interesting. You get a lot more of those, like I was saying, the Las Vegas style showcases. Every nug gets its own pedestal. And the farther north you go in Michigan, the more you get rooms with single showcases, but they have like 20 mason jars. It's still good stuff, and it's basically the same quality, but it's just interesting how the dynamic changes throughout a state.
Yeah, we experienced that here too, compared from like where I live to like our capital city, and there's another city, Tulsa, which is about the same size or bigger than Oklahoma City. I think it is metropolitan wise, but the dispensaries and strains and stuff they have up there is always like been a higher quality than, say, what's coming out or being grown where I live. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very nice. Being
So I know a lot of people I know a lot of people are always want the exotic stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that's where a lot of it is that in the bigger, more populated areas.
Of course. Does your state have any rule with delivery services?
I don't. I think the only thing they have, the closest thing they have right now, is curbside pickup. You can call in and pick it up, but I'm not sure if they've worked out how, the whole delivery. Like, say you call it in, they deliver it to a person. Like, how are they going to prove you got your medical card? Like, you just look at it and be like, okay, like you're checking your ID at the gas station for cigarette. It's like,
Basically,
is that?
yeah, it basically works like that. And
But I mean, and then like whoever the
Yeah.
delivery person is, like, are they going to give a fuck? It's like, oh, whatever, here you go. Like, I don't know if they wanted to. I don't know if it's going to be how that works.
it was one of those things that they were curious on here too in Michigan, and then after a while they passed enough bills and stuff where it was able to become a legal and viable option before it became recreational. And now that it's recreational, now it's to the point where they really don't care. But beforehand, for the medical, yeah, they would literally just walk up to your door, knock on it, you would open it up, they would ask for your med card and your ID, they would check it, add you to the database if you were a first time customer, and then give you your stuff.
Oh,
If your
okay.
card,
Okay.
if your card was up to date and everything passed, then you were good.
Yeah. See, that was like, I guess that was one thing. I was like, how do they like how do they check it? It's like they just. But I hope something like that we able to work something out like that, because I also had another idea that I thought would be pretty cool, which is a mobile dispensary, like a food truck that is a dispensary.
Yes.
Park around, like go anywhere, park it, find a parking lot set up, be your dispensary right there.
You can call it Rolling Dubes.
Yeah.
Or the rolling tray. Either one is fine.
Because the mystery machine is already taken here actually by a mobile dog grooming service. They got a couple of buses and it's like Sprinter vans and school buses, like little miniature school buses that
they
have
painted like
the mystery machine. Yeah,
that is amazing, and I'm going to be Googling this later.
Yeah,
actually sounds fantastic.
I can't remember what they're called right now, but yeah, like you call them and they'll come to your house and groom your dogs in the back of their bus, whatever they bring.
So you guys have delivery groomers who come up in Scooby-Doo themed vans, but you don't have weed that comes right to your door? The fuck is your state not doing?
I don't know, man. It's our governor is fucking. I don't know. He's not the one.
He is not the chosen one. Kick him out of the Matrix.
And plus, this is like where Oklahoma is like part, in the middle of the Bible Belt, so that takes a big part.
In all fairness,
decisions.
In all fairness, being north of Texas, it's surprising that you guys even have medical. Their stuff is so strict. They basically allow certain limits of CBD oil, and that's basically it, with medical exceptions for like 4 or 5 subgroups of people. And even then, they can only get like so much stuff in a vape form. It's ridiculous.
I'm glad I don't live in Texas, because I couldn't. They have so much stuff, so many things different than the rest of the United States, like including their power system that fucking failed during the ice storm or freeze that we had a few months back.
Oh yeah,
like
I will give it to Texas. They were not built for that, but Jesus Christ. Their whole.
But that was their decision, though. They wanted to be their own shit. That's what they get.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that Texas is really good for if you're trying to start a small business or something like that, because of tax breaks and levies and cheap housing and stuff like that.
Like if you're not into weed, Texas is a good place.
But if you smoke weed
or do any kind, like if you're like a good guy, don't do drugs and everything, or you might do a dab a little here and there, that's fine. Yeah, you'd be good in Texas. But if you like to partake in all other kinds of shit, then you better watch yourself.
You best stay out of here, boy. But yeah, essentially,
I like Texas as a place to go. I've been quite a few times.
no hate on Texas,
Since
and
we're so.
And I hear Austin is a pretty fucking cool town. So is Houston, Dallas. Obviously, the towns are pretty fucking cool.
I can't say anything about Austin, Texas, because I am an Oklahoma Sooner fan, and that is where the Texas Longhorns are from. So I can't say anything. I can't do that. I can't go against. I can't go against my own.
Just can't step foot in there unless it's supporting the others.
There's just some things a Sooner fan does not say about Texas, and that's how good Austin is.
I have learned something today. Very good. Very good. Well,
yeah, you want to know? Hey, here's a joke that Sooner fans tell. You want to know the best thing that comes out of Texas?
What's that?
I-35 North.
That's a good one, actually. That's good. So it was really nice to have you on, but we are running a little bit short on time, so I do have time for one more bong tote, if you do as well.
Yes, already.
You got it already all set?
Yes, sir.
All right, and hopefully the buds at home for the last time. Grab your buds, boys, lolly, the fucking I'm already high. You guys know what to do. Blaze it.
Is it in yet? Come on. What the fuck? What are you doing back there?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So once again, I am smoking on that Glueberry. I believe you were smoking on some of Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue number 4.
Gorilla Glue number 4. And I have been joined. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's tested at 31% THC.
Damn. So yeah, even if you are getting medical, you're getting the good shit.
Yeah, like, and you just got to find it. Like some places have like some there. You'd be like, oh man, let me see that right there, and it's some amazing stuff that you never, and then you haven't seen anywhere else.
Right.
And yeah, so that's one thing that gets me going back.
Well, people will soon be able to figure out where exactly you get these fantastic exotic strains. Why don't you shamelessly plug anything you got going for yourself right now? The floor is yours.
Follow my Instagram at DJ Tygrr. You can also, from there, in my bio, you can hit my link to my podcast page, which is called at the Tygrr Chronicles podcast. And I'll be posting updates pretty soon about when I plan on uploading my first episodes.
Yeah, we will also keep you buds informed here on the Good Buds podcast, because we always like to support other content creators and do what we can. And with that, Chris / DJ Tygrr, it's been fantastic to have you on. We hope to have you back on in the future. And
oh yeah,
good luck
definitely.
To you, your future endeavor in the podcast and all of that stuff. And I hope this looks cool. We always like being cool people, and by people I mean me, because Shank is still abducted by aliens.
Hopefully he comes back in one piece.
Hopefully. But with all that being said, thank you, buds. We will roll one for the road. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this with all your buds. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify,
iHeartRadio, and many more.
Oh shit, Shank's back. How'd you get away?
Yeah, they couldn't find a probe big enough.
I taught you well.
That's right, man. And next time DJ Tygrr's here, I'm going to make sure that I don't miss the interview. I'm not going to let those aliens kidnap me next time. So, buds, thank you for tuning in for this episode. Love you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with all your buds, and later, buds.
That's right. Later, buds.